Hello, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Katra's Alumni Podcast, where we chop it up with some of our talented filmmakers and actors who are killing it in the game. Today, we got a very lovely and talented filmmaker, actress, Zen Dot. We had the pleasure of screening her hilarious film, How Do You Like Your Eggs, last year at the Katra Film Series. A very, very funny film. And we're happy to see her again here today. How are you, Zen?
I'm doing so good. This is my first podcast as an actor and filmmaker, so I hope I make some sense. But thank you so much for inviting me. It's an honor, really.
Thank you. Well, we love to deflower our filmmakers and actors here on the podcast. First time. Glad we could be the first one.
Yeah.
How's your summer going?
It's going really well. I feel like this next level, some portal opening in my acting and filmmaking journey. We just wrapped post on 4 films earlier this summer. And then I was part of this awesome play called Arrangements, which had 3 shows for the New York Theater Film Festival. And I recently just came back from LA where I was shooting another short film. And auditions have been slow, but somehow I'm just like trying to make my own work and doing short films and theater and, just trying to stay busy and stay acting.
Keeping busy. That's so important in this industry, right? Keep busy, trying to create your own opportunities.
Absolutely.
Teaming up with other like-minded collaborative folks.
Yes. That's
awesome. So you're not chilling on the beach and just waiting for opportunities to drop on your...
When I was in LA, I did chill at the beach too, but I knew I was going to work. So I allowed myself to get that little vacation mode in. But yeah, no, we're all hustling.
That's the way to do it. Hey, we all need some... what do they call it now? There's a term for that. Some work-life balance, work, get some beats, get some sun while you're working.
That's true. I do believe in that. I do believe in work-life balance. But sometimes you have to make a conscious time effort for it.
That's true. That's very true. I believe in it, but I never have time for it.
You have to be intentional about it.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. You do have to find a way, like a couple hours every week just to kind of escape.
Absolutely, because all of us artists, filmmakers, film festival founders, I think we all have multiple jobs. So sometimes the balance, is not so easy to achieve because we're doing one job maybe to pay the bills and another job that's truly our passion. So I feel like sometimes we're always working. So we do have to be mindful of like relaxing and playtime and socializing.
I find time to meditate sometimes.
Me too. I meditate every day.
Every day?
It's so important. My day just has to start with meditation because I feel like I'm centered when I do that. And I feel like I can take over anything. And yes, sometimes when I'm traveling, I cannot meditate. Sometimes it doesn't work out. But I feel like because of the practice of doing it over years, it's okay if I skip a day or two. It doesn't affect me. But it's very much a part of my routine. I really need it. It's like as important as going to the gym sometimes.
It's like breakfast.
Yeah.
Breakfast is the most important. They say it's the most important meal of the day. Some meditation.
Yep. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's important, especially nowadays when things are so hard.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So you're busy. You're on LA. You're shooting. The question I always start this podcast is, how did you get started in show business? But before we get to that, because I really love your name, Zen Dot.
Thank you.
Can you tell me a little bit about how you got that name?
Yeah, there's not some crazy fun story there. It's literally a shorter version of my actual name. My actual name is Zenobia Dotiwala. And I just wanted to create a separate kind of entity because I have a day job. I wanted to keep my personal life separate from everything I do with, I used to be a dancer and now acting. So I just shortened my name to the first 3 letters of both my names, so Zen Dot. And somehow it had a good ring to it. And that Instagram handle was available. So I just decided like, okay, maybe this can be my stage name, Zen Dot. It sounds like a nice stage
It
name.
rolls off the tongue very smoothly.
Yeah,
It does.
yeah. So it worked out, but there wasn't any like deep thinking involved in it.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So it wasn't some like Hollywood suit telling you, hey, you got to shorten your name to
no,
make
but I
any
hope
sense.
they like it if they hear it.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
Especially with your talents. No,
Thank
they
you.
gotta like it. And if you don't like it, you better like it because you're super
Thank
talented.
you. Please do.
So now the question, the $1 million question that we ask
Yes.
all our guests: how did you get started in this crazy business called show business? I know some people don't like that term, show business, but hey, at the end
It
of the
is.
day,
It is that, and I think it's better for me if I think of it like that because there's so many hats we have to wear. But how I got started is I always wanted to be an artist, an actor mainly, and also a dancer. But when I was growing up in India. At that time, at least, my mom wanted me to focus and get a degree first, and then have that backup, and then try acting because acting was unstable, still unstable. All actors have other jobs anyway, so she said that you should get a degree and then you can do whatever you want. So the initial part of my life, I just focused on dance and getting the degree and having the day job. And I'm also an immigrant. I'm not a first generation American. I'm an immigrant. So I had to also wait for my green card to arrive before I could really delve into acting. So I always wanted to act ever since I could remember, ever since I was 12. But there were a lot of other things that I needed to take care of before I could dive in. And then I remember 2016, I started working on certain like independent projects and I like was really enjoying it. But then I had to put a pause on it until I got my green card. And once I got my green card in 2019, that's when I decided to like revamp everything. I got a new manager, got new headshots, started auditioning way more. So I think my foray into it was mid 2020, started earlier in 2016, but always wanted to do it. And I feel like in hindsight, everything seems like it worked out because when I was younger, I was fighting my mom and being like, why won't you let me pursue my dreams and, all of that. But now I get to pursue it in one of the best cities in the world, in the toughest markets in the world. So I think it worked out.
That's amazing. I mean, it's tough here to be in this country to be an immigrant, especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Just to see somebody like you to come here and I didn't realize such a short, only 5 years that you've been pursuing it.
Yeah.
That's impressive. You're really talented. And,
Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
To have that. No, I didn't. I mean, we screened the film. It's your acting, your performances, and you are and producer now.
Yes.
You're producing as well.
Yeah.
So that's impressive. A lot of immigrants, you come to this country with a dream, an idea, what you want to do, but there's always some pressures and some obstacle thrown your way. And,
for sure.
You just kept pushing forward, right?
I just kept, because I didn't know what else. I mean, I knew I wanted to act. It was just like, how do I figure this out? Like there was complete clarity on what I wanted to do. I had to figure out how as I was doing it. Yeah. But in my head, there was no option other than pushing through and figuring things out.
That's amazing. I'm always impressed because I was born here. So I'm first generation American.
That's amazing.
And we, when I see immigrants, I'm like, damn, they work hard. I got to work harder than
No, but
them.
you have to work hard too. It's like we all have different levels of working hard.
But the immigrants, they take it to the next level. It's inspiring. And really, I see people like you. I see other immigrants. And like, you see like, immigrants from South America. They come here, they work and they're doing these hard jobs.
Yeah.
As bus boys or construction and I don't know how they do it, but they do it. And so
I think that's why I love America so much, and especially New York. I know everything has its good and bad sides, but I just love being here in New York and seeing people from all these different countries making it, working hard, like trying to make their dreams come true. Like that's what motivates me a lot.
It does. Me too.
Yeah.
When I'm sitting home and I'm working and I'm like, damn, this is hard work. I'm like, this is not work.
I know.
Carrying stuff in a construction yard and
every time
working at a restaurant, that's work.
You're so right. Every time I'm like doing editing or post or managing people's schedules, I'm like, this is annoying. And then I'm like, but I want to do this, so suck it up.
There's some days I'm like, I force myself. I'm like, I got to pick up a light stand or something. Like, give me a camera to carry. This is fun. I'm living the dream here.
Yeah, that is true.
That's amazing. So tell me a little bit about your background. So you're
Zoroastrian.
Zoroastrian.
Yeah. So I think I have an interesting, very niche background in one sense. So religion or community wise, I'm Zoroastrian, but I'm not religious. I'm more spiritual. Ancestry wise, I'm Persian or Iranian. And culture wise, or where I was born and grew up, I'm Indian / South Asian. Our community of Persians in India are called Parsis. So I have a very unique background. When people talk about representation, I'm like, it's just me. I don't know any other person who is a Persian South Asian actor right now in this industry, at least. So in one sense, it feels very unique, but in the other sense, it feels like then I have to tell my own stories and I have to write my own stories, which is great to have that autonomy. But that's a little bit about my background. And in America, I grew up in Bombay or Mumbai, and I came to America in 2008, first to Chicago and then New York 2011. And then I've been here ever since. And when people ask me like where I'm from, I always want to say New York, because New York is such a state of being, state of mind. There's like a certain type of individual that's a New Yorker, right?
Yeah.
So I always want to say I'm from New York. I'm a New Yorker.
10 years. Well, you've been here 10 years.
I have.
That's the rule.
I've earned the right. I think I can say it.
10 year, there's a 10-year rule.
Yeah.
It's an unwritten rule.
Yeah.
So you're a New Yorker now.
Hey, ask me. Where am I from?
Where are you from?
I'm from New York.
There you go. She's from New York. I'm from Brooklyn.
Oh, you have to be specific.
Different edge over there in Brooklyn. You know?
Yeah.
There's little different edge. New York is, it's almost the same thing.
Yeah, we're all
part of the same 5 boroughs. That's awesome. So for an actor, a lot of our audience members are up and coming, emerging actors and filmmakers, or even people who are changing careers.
Right.
Why is it important to have an acting coach? I see you work with.
Yeah. I think that it is very important, especially in your early career stages, to have an acting coach or go to acting classes. Eventually, it becomes an as-needed basis when you get an audition. But I think that it is important for someone who's not your friend or someone who has a bias towards you to tell you what your blind spots are and what you need to work on. And also, I think when you go to acting classes or to an acting coach, you also understand some industry insights, or what is it that you need to work on, or what is it that you can relax about. In anything in life, a coach kind of helps you identify your blind spots or problem areas or what you would benefit from working on. I also have, depending on what your background is, I also have a dialect coach to help me with accent work sometimes, because as an actor, I think you want to have like a wide hireability possible for you. So I would also recommend getting a dialect coach depending on your background.
Very important.
Yeah.
No, that's great. I tried acting once a few times, and I wish I had a coach to help me out.
I know. Me too. I haven't done acting without a coach, and I'm like, that is very cringe.
Yeah.
How did this happen?
And fortunately, I found my footing behind the scenes.
Which one do you like more? Do you miss acting?
Directing and producing.
Oh, that's the best.
That's my forte.
That's the creator of the story.
But sometimes I like to be in front of the camera too, because then I see some actors, I'm like, what are they? I could do better than that.
I try.
You know,
Geoffrey, one more job for you.
That's one more. You put me. Maybe you'll write me in one of your films.
We'll do it.
We'll see. Well, I'll think about it.
Okay.
So what do you love more? So you've done theater. Mm-hmm. What do you love more, theater or film?
This is I'm going to be one of those people who says, I can't pick one. I have always been on stage being a dancer. And when I decided to act, I told myself, I don't know why, but I told myself, I'm a TV and film actor. That's what I'll do. So that's what I auditioned for. And then early this year, I decided to lift that weird ceiling off of myself and audition for theater stuff too. So I'm a part of this group of writers and actors that sometimes writers just write the plays and actors just read the plays. It's like a workshop thing. And I recently auditioned for and got the role in this amazing play called Arrangements, which ran for New York Theater Festival. And I just remembered that amazing feeling I get on stage in my career as a dancer, but now as acting. Nothing comes close to like being right there with the audience, getting the laughs, or sometimes not getting the laughs, but keeping on going. It's a very different challenge to be thinking on your feet, to being so alert, so focused, remembering the lines, delivering them, and then receiving feedback right away and not getting distracted by it. I think theater is amazing and I love it. But I see myself in my career as TV and film. I like that little bit more control over storytelling, like the option of doing multiple takes and picking and choosing which looks best for the story. I do like that. I think as a career, if I had all the options in the world, I would pick TV and film, and then I would keep doing theater as and when my schedule permits. I feel like a lot of TV and film actors do that. I think that they secretly have this love for theater, which they pursue sometimes on their downtime, but focus more on TV and film.
TV and film.
Yeah.
That's where the money is, right? TV and film.
That is where the money is. Yeah.
Commercials in particular.
But the money is like so far down the line.
I know, down the line. That's the thing. Well, we had this conversation in the last podcast where it's like it's not a get rich scheme. You know, you're in this industry for the long haul.
That's definitely I mean, if you want to be a star, that's a different thing. But if you want to be an actor, have longevity, then longevity is the key word.
Yeah,
Long.
And you got to start as working on student films.
Yeah,
don't be afraid of working on crappy student films.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
I've made crappy student films myself.
So have I.
So you learn from that.
I've made films on an iPhone and like without any lighting, without any color grading. So that's how you learn. I wouldn't replace that experience.
Some people have this mindset like, oh, I'll be an overnight success. So, make a film with Scorsese or something and that's it.
Have you heard? I read this somewhere. I'm not taking credit for it. I read this on TikTok or something. It only takes 10 years to be an overnight success.
That's what's
I'm like, that is so true.
You got to be in it. You got to be in it for the long haul. It definitely is. It's hard work too. I think, people think I guess it's the way the industry is set up, but there's like this glitz and glamour about it where it's like, it's all this light. It's hard work. It's like another job.
Yeah.
You're working. Yeah. It's a craft. It's an art. You're an artist, an actor, you're an artist. You consider yourself an artist, but you got to put in the work and time and energy and be able to take rejections.
Oh
you're
my
gonna
God.
get rejected left and right. You got to learn to take, because I think there's a lot of people in this industry that they're very sensitive from what I noticed on my end.
No, absolutely.
They're very sensitive. And it's like, you got to learn to take no's,
More no's than ever yeses throughout your career. And I have to like sometimes play mental gymnastics with myself, and I have to tell myself it's not a rejection. It's not even a rejection. It's a redirect. It's like, as soon as I submit an audition, it's already a no for me. And then if it's a yes, then it's like a pleasant surprise. But as soon as I've submitted it, I have forgotten it. I've moved on with my life on to the next thing. For me, that's healthy.
I think that's very helpful, because otherwise you'll dwell on it. Why didn't they accept me? What did I do wrong? Why? No,
it's never about you.
And there's so many factors, and it's not. it's never about you. It's like
so many. I have casted so many films. I know it's not about the actor. It's just like the look, the energy. Like it's so many other things outside of your control. If you are a trained, good actor with experience.
Yeah. No, for sure, definitely. I think it's important that people hear that, especially if they want to get into this industry. So you've done, I see you've screened at a lot of festivals, including Katra.
Yes.
But I was really impressed by the
Sphere.
Forgive me, Sphere South Asian Film Festival.
Thank you.
Oscar qualifying festival.
Yes.
How was that experience?
Also, we had the honorable mention at Katra. I just want to
Yes, she won an award. She got the honorable mention. Yeah,
thank
you. Did.
Yes. That was like one of our first awards. So thank you so much, Katra, for giving us that boost as filmmakers.
Well deserved.
Thank you.
Can people see this film anywhere?
Yes, it's now on YouTube.
On YouTube?
Yeah, we just released it on YouTube.
How do you love your eggs?
How do you like
your eggs?
Yes.
I like it sunny side up, like I mentioned.
I like them scrambled and vegan.
Now it's vegan. Okay. You got to check it out. It's on YouTube. It's really funny. You see her, it's a hilarious film. I was laughing nonstop.
Thank you.
And
Thank
we had
you.
the other actor. We had him in a couple films too. Guy who plays the
Vic
doctor.
Krishna?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had him in a couple- he was in
I'm
a
sure.
couple
Yeah,
films that
he's
we-
also a very established actor, and so is Sunita, who played my mom. But Tasveer was very exciting because this was my first year as a filmmaker. I was just applying to all the nice festivals, not expecting anything, and then we got into Katra, we got into so many others, and then Tasveer is in itself a very prestigious South Asian film festival, but the year we got in was its first year of achieving Oscar qualifying status. And what that means is if you win best short film in that festival, you automatically get considered for Oscars. And then I think they shortlist you. I don't know the further details, but it was such an honor to be selected at that festival in its first year of Oscar qualifying, because you know that the standards are going to be very high now. They have to maintain that standard. Yeah. And it was just a very well-organized, well-run festival. It was really fun being a part of it,
That's
was
awesome.
being part of Katra.
Obviously. Speaking of Oscar qualifying, that's going to be our next goal.
Yes,
to be an Oscar qualifying. This year, I'll make the announcement now. This year, we're going to be officially an annual festival now. So it's going to be
Nice.
Katra Festival. It's no longer going to be the film series.
Oh.
It's going to be the Katra Festival happening in October.
More competitive.
And hopefully, and more fun.
Yeah.
And anticipation building,
I know.
throughout the year. And hopefully we'll be Oscar qualifying in the
You will one
in the
day,
years
for
to
sure.
come. For sure.
For sure.
You heard it from Zen over
We'll
here.
make sure that happens.
Awesome. So speaking of South Asian, switch gears here a little bit or not. What's your favorite South Asian cuisine?
It has to be the lentil soup that my mom makes. And she also makes this vegan curry, but she got the recipe from me, but I like it more when she makes it. So those two are my favorite South Asian, specifically, I guess, Indian dishes.
Everybody's mom makes the best
I know.
cuisine. But
I
now,
know.
what's your favorite?
Like guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure,
I really love samosas. I love samosas.
Samosas.
Yeah,
What is-
they're these savory. I think you can call it savory fried pastries. You know, like empanadas,
Yeah.
but in a triangular form. I think it's like the same flour, and usually they're filled with potatoes
Okay.
with spices.
I think I had something
So
recently
good.
at some event.
Pretty sure you can't miss a
Is it
samosa.
almost like a dumpling?
Fried.
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 They put meat in it too, I think. Right?
Yeah. You can get
I had
chicken
that.
and lamb samosas
And they put
too.
some like sauce on top of it.
Yeah,
like, so-
yeah, chutney,
I had,
yeah.
there's actually around here. There's this really great Indian
really?
restaurant, and that they made it for an event. They were giving it away for free, and I tried. I was like, oh my
I
god.
love samosas.
So we talk about cuisines. That's awesome. And we talked about Thai food. Thai food is one of my
My
favorite.
favorite.
What movie? Let's go back to the movie. What movie are you looking forward to watching in a theater, in an actual movie theater?
You know, I'm very diverse in my movie preferences. There are three actual films that I'm looking forward to, completely different genres. One's called Skincare, I believe, and Elizabeth Banks is in it. And I think it's based on the story of a founder of a skincare brand or something. And it's based on this real life entrepreneurial founder stuff that goes to shit. Sorry to cuss.
It's all right. We can
Bleep it out.
We can bleep it out.
It's
We'll
YouTube.
think
We're
about it.
allowed.
YouTube. Yeah, exactly. You can, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And then there's another one called Didi, which is more like a coming of age story of this Asian American teenage boy. And then it's a super commercial. You can't miss it. It's marketed everywhere. Alien Romulus.
Oh, that was coming
I'm
up,
like,
man.
the marketing got me. I'm like, okay, I want to see what is this film about. Oh, I also want to see, this is already out, but Deadpool versus
Deadpool. Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that too. I
Wolverine.
heard so many good things, yeah.
I like my range of liking films is like very wide.
Now, do you love going to the theater, or do you wait for it on streaming?
I do like the comfort of seeing it at home, but I do love the experience of going to the theater.
Yeah, that's the
It's
thing.
like-
Nobody likes to go to the movie theaters anymore, but I have to see like certain movies, like at least 10 movies a year. I have to go to the theater.
That's
to see.
great. That's a very
I have to
doable.
go.
Yeah.
But some
And
people,
Katra screens at an amazing AMC. You guys picked such an awesome theater
we're
for
at
it.
Regal now.
Oh,
Regal. yeah.
switch. But
I
anyway,
think you screened at Regal. You screened
We
at Regal at AMC. Yeah, it was
the
Regal.
14th Street one? No, it wasn't 14th Street.
Was it 42nd Street? The one in Times Square?
No, no.
I think we screened it in the Regal Essex.
Essex, yes.
in the
Oh,
East
never
Village.
mind. Regal
Lower
for
East
the
Side.
win.
Regal
yeah,
for the
Regals
win.
are-
And Regal Cinemas.
I was gonna say something, but I won't say it.
Regal is Regal.
Yeah, Regal is Regal. Let's stick with that.
Yeah, it's a gigantic movie theater. It's one of the best movie theaters in town.
Agreed.
AMC. Listen, they're all great. I
They're
like
all
watching
great.
movies in
Yeah,
the
we
movie
don't
theater,
know if AMC is gonna watch this, so
Exactly.
amazing places.
Exactly. All right, Zen. Well, this is amazing. You got so much experience. We're looking forward to seeing more of your films. We
Thank
can't
you.
wait. We heard a rumor somewhere that you have a couple of submissions this year.
Yeah, I've submitted 4 films.
4 films
Yeah.
to Katra.
Yeah.
Well, you've broken a record now. So
Have I?
I'll definitely use it. I don't watch films anymore. But
Okay.
this year, I'm going to take a look at that because you broke the record. 4 films.
Yeah.
I have to watch
I
one.
feel like
too.
that is a little insane. Is there a Guinness record where I can apply?
That's it.
That
You
could be
should.
my claim
4
to fame.
in 1 year? You mean
4 in
films?
4 months.
In
we made
4 films?
Yeah. Yeah.
Filmmakers, actors, learn from this young lady, please.
Yeah.
4 films. If this is the way to do it, if you want to succeed in this industry, you got to make 4 films in 4 months.
Yeah. But I just want to make sure it wasn't all me. I found the right
So
co-producer
cool. That's
too.
right. You got to have the right team. Yeah.
Once you find the right team, I think you can really harness the momentum. Finding the right team is a lot of mistakes, time, lost, projects. But I was lucky that I found the co-producer, and she has similar goals. She wants to be a writer, director. I want to be an actor. I don't mind being a producer on my stuff. And then we found the right DP, and then the whole team was kind of set. So it was just about like churning it out. So yeah, I did get lucky in finding the right people.
That's
do
awesome.
this with.
That's the way to do it. You got to find people that believe in your vision and trust in your talents.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what is next?
So, eggs actually did really well. Thank you for saying all the nice things you said about it. But a lot of feedback that we were getting from it was, what's next? Is there more? Are you making this like a series?
Yeah, it almost felt like a pilot. Like
Yeah, it did, right?
Yeah.
I was just so great because our goal was to make this as a proof of concept. Well, our goal was first to just make a short film. Then when the way it shaped out, we were like, this could be something bigger. A lot of people are telling us, why don't you make it like a three episode season or something like that? But then me and my co-writers thought that we should make a feature film version of it. So right now we have the feature script drafted and complete, and we're going to organize a stage reading in September to just kind of read it out loud in front of writers, producers, to get feedback, to see how it's shaping up, and then put it on Blacklist and shop it around to producers and get the feature of eggs made. That's next.
See, this is so important. I love people to hear this, that you have a plan in place. Like you actually are strategically thinking about these things. Like there's certain steps and goals that you hit before actually, jumping into that and making film. Because I know a lot of filmmakers, they just never made a feature film and they just go out there and shoot, which is also commendable because making a feature is hard. But, and you can't overanalyze and overthink too much, I think.
Right.
But I think that's awesome that you're also like planning, okay, we're going to have a table read. We're going to have some people who are doing stuff and like get some feedback. And then, that's what Hollywood does. They don't release stuff unless it's like they got surveys or hitting
like focus groups. Part of why we released Eggs, the short film, on YouTube is to collect data, because I truly believe that Eggs is a universal story. Anyone can relate to it or find elements where they can relate to it. But I want to prove that using data. So I want the short film to, gather the views and then use the insights to, when we pitch to producers, be like, the short film was viewed by this person, that person in this country, so and so. This definitely has a universal appeal. So give us money to make the feature.
That's it. Yeah. No, that's awesome. Well, good luck on
it's
that.
like making one decision that feels right. Like, I don't know if this strategy is going to work or not. It just feels right. It just feels like the next right decision. So we're just doing it.
That's cool. I'm a big believer of going with your gut instinct. And if you feel like that's the right step. Oh my God.
Gut is the most underrated thing. People don't talk about it. Like, it's so important. It's more important than logic.
Especially in this industry. Because everybody's a critic, right? Everybody's going to tell you, this is wrong. You could do this. At the end of the day, you got to go with what you want to see. What's the movie that you want to see?
Exactly.
Forget about what everybody wants to see. What do you want to see?
Absolutely. I feel like that kind of, what you said is so important, even to kind of stay sane in this crazy career is, what do I want to do? Do I want to be a part of it? I feel like when the buck stops there and then everything else is a bonus, for me, it feels more comfortable. Otherwise, I'm chasing all these goals that are so subjective. Like, I cannot think of trying to impress someone who I don't even know. I just want to make sure I like it, and then my family likes it, my friends like it. But I just want to make every other layer a bonus, a nice to have, and just, keep saying through that.
You can't please everyone in this industry.
I wouldn't know how to.
I don't even show my family my movies.
Sometimes, yes, depending on
what is that?
movie.
What are you doing? I'm like, don't worry about it. Just go pay for a ticket and go watch it in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Go support your son. That's it.
That's true. That is so important.
Well, that's awesome, Zen. This is amazing. Thank you. For doing this. One last question before we let you go.
Yes.
Or two, actually.
Yeah.
What piece of advice can you share for up and coming emerging filmmakers, actors who are looking to break into this beautiful industry, or even folks who are changing careers? They're looking to get out of their 9-to-5 job.
Yeah. I think I could write a whole book. Not that I'm some enlightened being, but just based on my experience and mistakes, I could write an advice book on this. But I'll say just one core thing, if you can cultivate, is patience. Just accept that this is a long career. If you are an overnight success, I'm so happy for you. Great. But most of us don't achieve that.
99% of us, sir.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. So patience will be your strength, your friend, whatever you can do to increase the reserves of patience, whether it's taking care of yourself, having something else going on, having a full life, accepting the fact that it's going to take some time, keeping on learning, learning new skills, even in filmmaking, maybe editing, maybe producing, maybe collaborating with other people. Like anything you can do to constantly feel like you're in that acting energy will just help patience, and patience will give you the resilience, the gratitude, the whole right time, right place thing that people talk about, the luck factor. I think patience is what is needed to get to that level, to make sure you don't quit right before something was about to happen. I think that's the number one sort of like large picture advice. And then I think when you're on set as a new actor, I would just recommend like learning and picking up everybody's, like talking to people, talking to the sound person, talking to the script supervisor, talking to the DP. How did they start? What is their network like? Just be the person who wants to learn and absorb as much as possible about filmmaking.
Yeah, you got to remain curious
Yeah.
in different facets of this industry. If you
Yeah.
want to do it, you got to learn every part, every position,
It only
every title.
helps. It only helps.
Yeah.
When I first started, I was like, I'm always this multi-doing person. And I was like, no, now I'm going to just focus on acting. I'm only an actor. This is all I'm going to do. And then the whole thing of like, do your own work, make your own content, write your own thing. Everybody started doing that. And I fought that for some time until I embraced it, because it's actually on us, especially if you're immigrants, especially if you're a person of color. The odds are stacked against you still. And I think if you start producing your own work, it's a very powerful autonomy that you gain. And I really, really recommend it for any actor out there. Just do your own work. Even if it sucks, you learn a lot through it. Just learn different skills. Don't just be a one track person.
Yeah, that's, even if it sucks, don't give up just because it sucks. You know,
Yeah,
it might
patience.
suck to one person. Some other person might actually like it.
Yeah,
you know?
and
So
you
it's
may know,
such a
okay, I
subjective-
don't want to do this, but I like doing that other thing. Like whatever you can help however you can help your career and someone else's career, it can only like mutually benefit.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, Zen, you got to write that book because I want to read it.
I know. I want to write that book and read it myself for the down days. Thank you.
We all need that book. The final question.
Yeah.
Where can we find you? Do you have a website you want to plug?
Yes.
Social media?
Yes. My website is zen-dot.com, and my Instagram is Zen Dot, Zendot. It's right after Zendaya. When you start looking up, when you type Zend, it's like Zendaya, and then it's Zen Dot. That's not gotten me anywhere. It's a fun fact about my Instagram handle.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. As you know, we're big fans of you.
Thank
We
you.
look forward
Likewise.
to seeing you again, and I'll make sure to check out those films.
Yes, please do.
Thanks for breaking the record. That's impressive. 4 films in 4 months.
I feel so good. Can I come back on this podcast?
Yes, for sure. Definitely.
Until people get tired of, until the views start going down.
Well, thank you again, Zen.
Thank you for
look
having
forward
me.
to seeing more of your work.
Absolutely.
And that's it for us. Thank you again for another episode of Katra's Alumni Podcast. I'm Geoffrey, CEO and founder of the Katra Film Series. We have our sister festival, New Faces, New Voices Festival, September 16th through the 18th, happening at Rego Essex Crossings in the Lower East Side. I want to thank our sponsor, our presenting sponsor, Welcome Homes, and Sportsmanlike Conduct Official here at the studio. We're very gracious enough. They're very gracious enough to allow us to be here. Thank you to Zen Dot again for being a part of this episode, and stay tuned for more episodes coming up in the next few weeks and months. We also got Katra Festival, the new we're rebranding. We're the Katra Festival, October 1st through the 5th. Bowery Film Festival in November, and New York Pause in December. And then we got a whole bunch of new stuff next year, so stay tuned. Follow us at Katra Film Series, at New Faces, New Voices, at the Bowery Film Festival, at New York Pause. Thank you, and good night.